hard. It's like co-parenting. It's really hard, you know? And like,
you're not co-parenting with just anyone.
Yeah.
Usually the things that I like the most are controversial.
And now it's confirmed. Jeffree Star and Kanye West really did link up. Actual footage of the two together just leaked online, and Kim Kardashian is reportedly done with Kanye's chaos. She's tired of him dragging her and the kids into every new mess. This ain't one of those silly internet rumors you can just brush off anymore. It's real this time. Jeffree straight up confirmed that something went down between them. The timing, the proof, even their messy pasts, it all adds up like a wild puzzle you didn't want to solve. And let's not forget, people just started recovering from Kanye's bizarre confession about messing around with his own cousin back in the day. That one had folks in shock. But now, this twist with Jeffree just cracked the internet in half. The drama's out of control. And to make things even more insane, Kanye's been spiraling hard lately. These past few weeks have been non-stop meltdowns, like that time he popped up in public wearing a full-on Nazi outfit. Who does that? The internet can barely keep up with the madness. Kanye's music has always had some wild confessions, but now, a new viral clip has people losing their minds. In this recently surfaced video, Kanye is looking way too close with Jeffree Star out in Wyoming. And when I say close, I mean locked in eye contact, body language full of tension. It's giving serious, something went down energy, not just some random meetup at a ranch. Here's the craziest part. This whole Kanye and Jeffree rumor isn't even new. It blew up back in 2021, but most folks shrugged it off like some random TikTok prank. Jeffree even teased the whole thing, dropping hints and keeping people guessing, but never actually said yes or no. Well, fast forward to now, and boom, we got actual footage. And Jeffree's not hiding anymore. He flat out said it. The rumors were true. No more shady tweets or cryptic messages, just a real deal confirmation that something really happened between them. And when you match this up with what Kanye's been spitting in his lyrics lately, it all starts clicking into place like a scandal-filled puzzle. And don't forget, this allegedly happened while Kanye was still married to Kim. Which brings us back to that iconic photo. Kim sitting in the car, breaking down in tears right next to Kanye. We've seen her cry before, yeah, but this hit different. This was raw. Nobody knew what had her that broken. But now, things are starting to make a lot more sense. This wasn't some staged TV moment. This was raw, off-camera heartbreak. Now that Jeffree spilled the truth and Kanye keeps airing out his life in public, fans are convinced that was the moment Kim found out everything. The vibe in that photo? Cold, tense. Like she had just been hit with something heavy that flipped her whole world inside out. And honestly, if Kim found out her husband wasn't just cheating, but allegedly cheating with Jeffree Star, who wouldn't break down? That pain hits different. Nah, that's not okay. Not at all. But here's where it goes even deeper. This ain't just about Jeffree anymore. People online are digging deep, pulling out old clips and receipts suggesting this might not have been a one-time slip-up. There's been long-running talk about Kanye's tight bond with the late Virgil Abloh, and now even whispers that Diddy might have been part of the picture too. And when you really think about it, maybe that's why Ye's still standing by Diddy, even now, when nearly the whole industry has cut him off. Something's not adding up, unless there's way more to this story than we know. This whole situation, it's messy, it's layered, and it's raising serious questions about Kanye, his identity, his mental state, and what really went down behind closed doors during some of the most chaotic moments of his life. One of the wildest public celebrity breakups ever. If this is what Kim was really dealing with behind closed doors, it makes total sense why she finally snapped. All right, now let's shift gears. Azealia Banks just threw more gasoline on the fire. She's out here leaking some serious tea, claiming Kanye's been hiding way more than anyone expected, but folks didn't pay attention at first. Love her or hate her, Azealia's always had that inside scoop. She knows way too much about the industry, and when she talks, the streets listen. Not too long ago, she went off with some wild claims about Kanye, and what started as rumors has now turned into something way darker than people were ready for. She straight up said Kanye and the late designer Virgil Abloh weren't just close collaborators, they were lovers. That alone shook the internet. But she didn't stop there. She also claimed that Elon Musk allegedly got intimate with Ye while he was high on ketamine. Like, what? That's the kind of story you gotta read twice. And just when you think it couldn't get any wilder, Azealia casually dropped that Kanye might even show up on one of Diddy's infamous party tapes. Now that's a scandal people weren't ready for. You know those rumors that float around in the shadows? Whispers that nobody ever confirms but everyone talks about? Yeah, this is that kind of situation. And Azealia Banks didn't just stop with Kanye and Virgil. She went off, name-dropping major celebs like Jay-Z, Trump, Travis Scott, and Drake, painting this twisted behind-the-scenes story that sounds more like a wild Netflix series than real life. But let's be real. Even if half of what she said isn't true, what's got people really shook isn't just the list of names. It's what she's hinting about Kanye's private life. Azealia literally wrote, "Kanye and Virgil were lovers. Elon Def got some head from Kanye off that ketamine. Kanye is on one of them Diddy tapes. Chaz was like, no homo. Trump was like, no homo. Drake was like, no thank you. Ander hit him with the strap. Kim thought she could, but vomited on his back and started crying. Chris yelled, cut. Wild, right? Whether you believe her or not, the internet exploded. The fact that she's connecting all these big names to Ye, and in this kind of way, is next level messy. And if any of it's true, it's deeply personal. Now here's the thing. People have joked for years about Kanye having certain preferences behind closed doors. It was always passed off like just another rich guy with a weird side, a kink. Nothing more. But Azealia? She's not saying it's just some freaky habit. She's painting a picture of something way bigger, way more chaotic, and way darker. And what she says next? It takes everything to another level of disturbing. All those wild rumors might have stayed buried if Kanye hadn't dropped lyrics that shook the internet to its core. In a track allegedly titled Cousins, Kanye hints at a deeply disturbing experience involving a close family member. According to what he raps, something happened between him and his cousin. And depending on the source, this reportedly began when Ye was as young as 7, while others claim he was 14. Either way, it's shocking. Not just because of the young age involved, but because it was his own cousin. And not only that, the cousin was younger than him. That takes it from uncomfortable to seriously upsetting. Let's be clear. This kind of situation isn't just taboo. It's illegal in every single US state for a reason. Morally, legally, spiritually, it's a complete and absolute no. So when Kanye laid this out in a track, the internet lost it. Even people who once stood by him were like, this isn't music, it's trauma. Fans are saying this isn't art, it's someone exposing deeply unresolved pain in a way that crosses every line. And just when everyone was still processing the lyrics, Kanye went online and tried to explain the meaning. That's when things got even darker. He shared that both he and his cousin were exposed to adult material way too young, and it may have twisted their understanding of boundaries. He then mentioned that his cousin later went to prison for allegedly taking the life of a pregnant woman. It's a heavy, disturbing story. One that's left even his most loyal fans rethinking everything they thought they knew about him. It's a lot, almost too much for people to even process. As usual, Kanye decided to lay it all out on X, posting a breakdown about the track Cousin. He explained that the song was about a family member now serving time for allegedly taking the life of a pregnant woman. Ye shared that a few years before that happened, he and this cousin were exposed to adult content way too young, and he blamed himself for showing those magazines to his cousin when he was just 6. Kanye wrote, "My dad had Playboy magazines, but the ones I found in my mom's closet were different. My name is Ye, and I did things with my cousin until I was a teen." Yeah. That's what he said. And honestly, that's not the kind of thing most people would ever speak about publicly, let alone put in a song or post online. That's the kind of pain people carry quietly, not broadcast to millions. And what's worse, Maybe that cousin never agreed to have this traumatic part of his life exposed. Now it's out there, for the entire world to dissect. And instead of treating it with the seriousness it deserves, people online are turning it into a joke. A real confession, deeply personal and painful, is now being used for memes and reaction GIFs. What started as a shocking post has become just more internet noise. And that says a lot about how far gone things really are. One of the memes floating around was captioned, "Kanye West leaving his cousin's house." Yeah, people really went there. Ever since that song dropped, the internet's been flooded with disturbing jokes and edits. So sure, Azealia's claims might have sounded outrageous at first, but when you line them up next to Kanye's own lyrics and confessions, suddenly they don't seem that wild anymore.
This story keeps unfolding in ways nobody could have predicted. Say whatever you want about Kanye West, but you can't ignore how complicated and honestly tragic his life has become. Beyond all the headlines and viral chaos, there's a man carrying scars most people would never dare talk about. Something in Kanye changed after his mother passed away. It's like a switch flipped. The grounded, focused version of Ye disappeared with her. And ever since, it's been pure chaos, breakdowns, wild public moments, and a non-stop identity crisis that's played out in front of the whole world. And it hasn't been good chaos either. His behavior has become louder, messier, and more controversial with every move. People are seeing the collapse happen in real time.
But here's the thing, Kanye didn't come from a picture-perfect background. His upbringing was rough, so we can't sit here and act like this behavior came out of nowhere. When a child grows up in a storm of emotional mess, toxic influences, and possibly even inappropriate experiences, it stays with them. The brain's still developing during all that. And whatever hits hard in childhood, it leaves a mark for life. Those early life experiences shape everything. How we love, who we trust, even how we see ourselves. Some traumas don't just hurt, they rewire you. That's why this convo around Kanye's mental and emotional state shouldn't be reduced to memes and jokes. If you've ever seen or gone through something way too grown up as a kid, then you already know that pain doesn't just fade, it stays with you deep. Now imagine mixing all that with fame, non-stop pressure, and the entire world watching your every move. That's not just stressful, that's a full-on recipe for disaster. But here's where it gets even messier. Kanye's situation? It's never simple. He thrives off of chaos and controversy, and that's exactly what makes people question why, after years of denying the rumors about Jeffree Star, he suddenly just lets it slip. And then there's Jeffree, whose middle name might as well be Clout, out of nowhere confirming the whole thing. He just hops on social media and drops a bomb with a tweet like, "Okay, F it, the rumors are true," and tops it off with some freaky little emoji like it's nothing. Kanye? He didn't deny it either, not even a little. Instead, he just kept feeding the fire, dropping more lyrics, more cryptic content, and more signs pointing to something deeper going on. Fans are now wondering if this isn't just about drama, but about Kanye wrestling with a full-on identity conflict that's finally bubbling to the surface. It's like Kanye's not even trying to hide anymore. Everything's out in the open, raw, messy, and loud. But here's the twist. Some folks think this might all be part of a rollout. Like maybe Ye's planning to drop something big soon, and he's just stirring the pot to get attention on him again. But let's be real. Kanye's name already makes headlines. He never needed clout to launch anything before. That's the thing. He just doesn't seem to care how wild it gets anymore. Clout or not, the internet exploded. But now we've veered into a whole new conversation about Kanye's sexuality. Which, honestly, isn't even the point here. The deeper story is this. Kanye might still be carrying the weight of a confused and hurting kid. Fame didn't fix him. If anything, it handed him a mic and put his pain on center stage. And the truth is, some of the most iconic creatives in history have channeled their pain into their work. It doesn't make the chaos okay, but it does explain how someone can be both a music legend and a full-blown breakdown happening in real time. It's tragic and genius all rolled into one. One person summed it up perfectly online. "I don't care if he's bisexual or gay or whatever. It's the fact that he cheated on his wife and said some Nazi-level crazy stuff.
This whole thing is way past controversy. It's heartbreaking. One person online said, "That bothers me. He needs serious help." And then it just kept coming. Someone else wrote, "I feel bad for his kids. Not gonna lie. Watching their dad spiral like this has to be terrifying." Another comment? Straight to the point. "Bro, get help." And honestly, they're not wrong. We're literally watching a man fall apart in front of the world, and it's been happening for years. People used to blame Kim for the relationship ending, dragging her through the mud like she caused the collapse. But now, a lot of folks are realizing she might have just been surviving chaos. Word is, Kim K's definitely got regrets. Not just about the relationship, but about being tied to Kanye forever through the kids. But what's even more shocking? Kanye's the one who recently said he regrets having children with her. In an interview with DJ Academics, Kanye admitted he didn't even want kids with Kim in the first place. He said, "That's my fault." Like, what? That's not just sad, that's cold. So yeah, Kanye might be battling demons, but it's also clear that he's lashing out and hurting the people closest to him, especially Kim. And that's where it stops being just about mental health and starts looking like a pattern of emotional destruction. People can laugh, make jokes, or meme it to death, but anyone who's ever had to heal from deep pain they couldn't even speak on, they feel this, and they know none of it is funny. If this shocked you too, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video with someone who needs to see what's really going on. I'll catch you in the next one. Stay tuned for even more untold truths.